Going live. Okay, now we are ready. Okay, so we will go section by section and we'll go very slowly so that you can really experience and test it out for yourself how Ānāpānassati works. So I'll just put on mute so that it doesn't distract. Okay, all good. So the Ānāpānassati here is that he talks about certain sections. This is by Sariputta, Venerable Sariputta. He has written about it, or he has said about it, and then it was documented. So it's called as Ānāpānasatikatha. What is a Katha? Katha means discourse or a large description of what should be done. Sometimes it is referred as commentary, but this one is not a commentary. Okay, there's not a commentary. What's the difference between Katha and a commentary? The Katha is a discourse which will be pretty long and pretty detailed. A commentary is on the sutta or on something or some concept where the person gives enough information and he explains in his own words what it is. Just like if I were to write something and then I can write a commentary, but it is not mine, meaning to say that I'm just writing a commentary, but it has nothing to do with a discourse. Whereas in the case of Sariputta, it is a discourse. So let's come to the topic, what we are supposed to be doing. 1 second. It's not muting at all. Very surprising. No matter what I do, it doesn't. Okay, anyway, let it be the way it is. Okay. So we need to start with a symbol, nimitta, and the Pali word is nimitta. The English word is symbol. We have two kinds of symbol. One symbol of the world and another symbol of the Dhamma. So instead of the world, we need to bring something related to Dhamma so that we are able to see how it works. So this Katha talks about the Dhamma, how the Dhamma arises and how the Dhamma passes away. That is the whole content of it. So first we need to set the nimitta. So what is this nimitta or symbol? We need to take the breath as the symbol. No other thing. Only the breath. In breath, out breath, divided into 16 parts and then becomes 32 part, because the in is 16, out is 16, and hence 32. Okay, so first thing you need to remember is that we need to have a nimitta. So let's make the breath as the nimitta. So don't forget, that is the sati. Now we need to see how that nimitta works. Okay, when I create a nimitta, it has to take shape. So now let's say if I take myself to be Vilas, that's a nimitta, that's a symbol. So anytime I stand in front of a person, or I stand in front of a mirror, stand wherever, I believe that I'm Vilas. In the same way, I need to experience the breath. Now, as we go down, Sariputta explains how to watch the breath. So I'll bring that up first and then we will go through each one of those sections. It should be like an axe and a tree, and you're doing the axe. What you would see is the touching. So in the nostrils, wherever it touches, you have to observe the breath there, just the touching, not going up and going down, just the touching. He explains that you're not going to watch the teeth which is going in and coming out, in and coming out. You're watching the person is watching the touching. So the nimitta we need to bring right now is that only the touching. Now, taking that, we need to see what happens. So this whole thing is based upon that. It's complete. So he says there are 11 ways of doing, which brings in 200 kind of knowledges. I again repeat, there are 11 ways to know something, and then that brings in 200 different kind of knowledge to the person who is doing it. So now he says 8 knowledge will be on obstacle. So first thing we need to remove is the obstacle. So we have to keep the nimitta, that is watching the touching wherever it is touching. So I'm taking that, and I need to resolve the obstacle. 8 of them will have a support in removing these obstacles, and 8 of them are corruptions. When you remove the obstacle also, there are corruptions. We're going to go through those corruptions. And 13 knowledges will be of cleansing. How do we clean? Yes, there is corruption, agreeable. Then is there a possibility of cleansing? Now, how do I cleanse that? And 32 knowledge about being aware of the breath. That is 16 of in and 16 of out. 24 knowledges of samadhi. Sama, adhi. Sama is equal. Adhi is to stay, maintaining the equanimous or equal state. The mind doesn't go like this. It doesn't shake. It stays stable. Okay. 72 knowledges through vipassana, insight. So Ānāpānassati brings you to vipassana. It starts with samatha, then moves into vipassana. So that knowledge are 72. 8 knowledge of disenchantment, nibbida. So you get disenchanted, enchanted, or disillusioned, better word to use. Then 8 knowledge of disillusion, conformity. That means you confirm for yourself that you are disillusioned. So when we look at the 7 things, nibbidaya, viragaya, nirodhaya, upasamaya, abhinyaya, sambodhaya, nibbānaya. So there are 7 steps to nibbana. So first is disenchantment or disillusion. Second one, viraga, is dispassion. So nibbidaya, viragaya, nirodhaya, non-arising, upasamaya, peaceful, abhinyaya, insight into the reality through experience, sambodhaya, experiencing the 4 noble truths, Okay. Nibbānaya, cessation, relief from the dukkha. So one is the dukkha, one is removal of dukkha. The dukkha starts with not being in nibbida, and the dukkha ends when we are in nibbida and continue that whole journey and come into the nibbana. Now, 8 knowledge of being completely in disenchantment and 21 knowledges of release of pleasure, vimukti, that is raga is no longer available. With raga gone, dvesha and moha are also gone. The 11 things what we will be journeying together. Okay, so this is the overall picture of what we would be doing every day. So we'll go slowly, we will understand what needs to be done, and we'll exactly do what it said. So first and foremost, we need to have the nimitta. So while I speak, since you are not speaking or doing anything, if you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. I will talk slowly, and then you can watch your breath touching the nostrils. Don't go up and down along with it. Just the touching. That is the nimitta. Try it out. As it touches the nostril, as it comes, so it is going up, it is touching the nostril. When it's going down, also it is touching the nostril. Don't follow the breath. Just watch the touching only. Now with relation to that nimitta, there are 8 things which cause obstacles. While I am watching this touching of the breath at the place, my mind, that is the chitta, can get deflected and come into kamachanda. That means I lose that touching. Now what should I do is look at nekkhamma. Nekkhamma means letting go of that object which has come. That's a Dhamma which has come. So kamachanda is an obstacle, and nekkhamma is removal of that obstacle. Vyapada is an obstacle. Abhyapada is removal of that obstacle. This while watching the breath. I lost the breath, I get angry. So, if I have metta, that every being is breathing, and we don't know where it gets, abhyapata happens. So, vyapada is the obstacle, abhyapada is the relief or the removal. Thinamida, sloth and torpor. is the obstacle. Alokasanya. It's a very nice word called alokasanya. Perception of light is the removal of that obstacle. We are going to see how to do alokasanya, or perception of light, as we proceed into details. Udacha, restlessness, is an obstacle. Non-distraction, avikeppo, is a removal of that obstacle. Visikicha, doubt, is an obstacle. Dhamma vavattanam, which means knowing the Dhamma in a proper way, removes that obstacle. Avidya, ignorance, is an obstacle. Jnana, wisdom, is removal of that obstacle. Arati, dissatisfaction, is an obstacle. Pamojam, which is feeling glad, contented, pleased with whatever is there at this moment, is removal of the obstacle. All akusala dhamma, 10 of them, are an obstacle. All kusala dhamma removes these obstacles. So these are the 8 obstacles and 8 removal of obstacles. Now we watch our breath, touching the nostrils. Let's look out for the obstacles. Make a note in the mind what obstacle you're getting. You are not able to watch the touching is an obstacle. If you are able to know the touching, then there are no obstacles. Observe your nostril for 10 minutes. Okay, so let's continue. Hope you were able to watch the breath touching your nostrils. And if not, you notice a hindrance. Now don't bother about the breath touching your nostrils. Instead, look at what were the hindrances you got, and don't have to explain to me right now, but you can make a note of those hindrances. If you have got your hindrance, you might have got restlessness, you might have got sleepiness, you might have got sensual ideas. Does not mean sexual, it is sensual, where some senses like sound on the road, or somewhere something is coming, or some smell, some touch might interfere with your watching the breath touching you. So make a note of it. And that will help you to see what can be removed there when we go further. So it's a step-by-step process. So first is the nimitta. Keep that till the end, till we finish this series. That's what you're going to be watching, that wherever the breath is touching. Now what he says, the next set, what he says. The job is to have ekatha, or the goal is to make ekatha, oneness. If the breath becomes one, then the arising and passing away will not be there. The kaya sankhara, which is asa phassa, will go away. If that goes away, then vachi sankhara, which is vitakka vichara, will not be there. If vitakka vichara and the kaya sankhara are not there, then the mano sankhara, which is thinking, which is feeling and perception, will not be there. So you are literally on the breath, nothing else. And then you will start to see anicca, dukkha, anatta, asubha, everything along with that. So Ānāpānassati teaches us how to experience anicca, how to experience the Four Noble Truth of dukkha, and how to understand anatta and get into asubha because of that. So he says that with this way of knowing the breath touching as nimitta, you can find the unification or being in harmony or ekatha. One is nekkhamma, is renunciation, ill will, perception of light, non-distraction, investigating the Dhamma, knowledge, that is jnana, happiness, that is nibbana, and always in a skillful Dhamma, which is kusala. These are the 8 things what we need to develop. To remove 8 things which are an obstruction to it. So what we should do is, when we are watching the breath, some idea or opinion comes, or I might get a doubt. I doubt whether this touching is what Buddha explained. That's a doubt. So mark it as doubt. Then my mind goes elsewhere. It starts with some imagination. So distraction. How long was I out of this breath? This touching of the nostril. I note that, not regret it. I just note it. Wow, I was out of it for 20 minutes. Fine. So 20 minutes distraction. Then there are certain things happening in the world which I don't like it. So I get pissed off, or I get angry or agitated, worked up. So how many minutes was I on that? Oh my God, I was there for close to half an hour. Fine. Note it. Then some smell of food came and I started feeling uneasy, feeling hungry, wanted to know what the food is being prepared. Kamachanda has arrived. Okay, note it. Like that, each one. So ultimately where it comes down is, I'm not able to achieve because of the dasa akusala. The starting point should be to attack the dasa akusala and make it kusala. Then the breath can be seen. And this will be the practice we need to do. So we need to note down, we need to observe, we need to remove the obstacle. Again note down, again observe, again remove the obstacle. So we keep on continuing till the obstacle is removed. So 8 obstacles, 8 aiding the obstacles. 8 aiding in removal of the obstacle. Okay, so to remove Kamachanda, he says that look at where you're going to land. Put that aspect. If I start following the smell or the taste or the touch or the sight or the sound, where it is going to land. So that creates that fear. That is Marananusati, death. That will guide in not going towards that side. Then I become angry or upset, uneasy. So I need to again check, wow, where it is taking. Oh, it's taking to that destination. I don't like to be there. So that becomes a guidance. Okay, it's in Pali called as Niyana. Niyana means guide. So guidance. How does it guide? If Kamachanda is there, no guidance. If Nekama is there, complete guidance. Like that. So we cut one against the another. We keep on cutting. Oh, this is their obstruction. This is there to remove the obstruction. So that's the guidance. That brings us to Ariya Magga. Magga means path. Ariya. Riya means is to circle. Ariya means not circling. That's the reason it's called noble path, because you're cutting that circling around and around and around and around. So what is this circling? Morning happens, we do exactly the same thing. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and some work. Next day, same breakfast, same lunch, same dinner. Again the next day, again the next day, again the next day. Like that, we have literally crossed as much as we have crossed. So, and then the sight appears, mind goes there, sound appears, goes there, taste appears, goes there, touch appears, it goes there, smell appears, it goes there, thoughts appear, goes there. Circling. Ariya means to cut that circling. There's no need to circle. So we come to the Ānāpānassati from Puttujana. We come to Ānāpānassati. Watching the breath, touching, nimitta, removing the 8 hindrances through 8 guidances will bring us to the Ānāpānassati. Okay, this is the process. Now let us look at some examples, real world examples. I want to go to a lake. Why there is a desire of going to the lake? Because I'm dissatisfied. I'm having dissatisfaction being at home. Simple. Now what do I do in the lake? Watch the lake. Because I love lake. It's an object. Can I bring that object? Can I bring that lake to my home? No. I physically need to go to the lake. Now while coming back from the lake, I start remembering the time I spent in the lake and how good it was and how the sky was and how this was, that was. So I brought in Kamachanda with me. Not that I shouldn't go to the lake. It should have been, whether in this room or the lake, it should have been the same. In the same way, whether I am having a married life or not a married life, it should be the same. But it doesn't. I love the person because before marriage, she was somebody and I was somebody. I spoke to her, she spoke to me, and we both felt there's a connection. So instead of that connection being elsewhere, we bring it near us. Because I want to enjoy that sight of that person, that sound of that person, the taste of that person, the touch of that person, smell of that person, and thinking about that person is what I want. This is what Kamachanda is all about. Now the Nekhamma is leaving that anxiety. So first thing I need to check is whether I'm anxious. If I go to another place, like I went to my hometown a few days ago, is there a anxiety for me? Am I feeling anxious about that place? If yes, I am already having Kamachanda. So what really happens now is I go there, I collect memories, and I start coming back with those memories. Now I start playing the memory game. So I keep on playing it and playing it and playing it to enjoy what I've seen, to enjoy the sound, enjoy the taste, enjoy the touch, enjoy the smell, enjoy the thoughts, through the thoughts. So the first thing I need to check through the breath is whether I'm enjoying these things. If yes, I need to work out. So nimitta is where it is touching, not the nostrils, but wherever it is touching. That breaks, and now I go to my hometown and I start watching all the fun we had, all the food we had, etc. And I start to follow it. So the breath is stopped, meaning watching the breath is stopped. So there's no guidance now. There's absolutely no guidance. Niyana is not there. Means guidance is not there. There's nothing to guide. So I'm distracted completely because of Kamachanda. Now we come to Vyapada. Now this is a funny thing about Vyapada. Losing something is Vyapada. Can be anything. I lose it. First thing I get is angry and frustration. You just check. Whatever we gain, we lose it. The first thing that appears is a frustration followed by agitation. Then it ends up being in helplessness. Can be anything. Relationships, this breaks, anger comes. Any relationship, friend, becomes foe because I've lost. So anything that we lose, I don't treat that it's just an object. I treat it as something worth holding, but now I cannot hold it. It goes. So let's say, like Owen, I love to be in Vancouver. That place is too good. I am feeling jealous about Owen. He's in a nice place. I'm in the dirtiest of the place. So I feel agitated and dissatisfied. Because of agitation and dissatisfaction, there is anger that I'm not there. I want to be there. So it brings in a picture more than what I have, meaning I'm already staying in a nice place, but I have a abhiccha now. And Vyapada is the consequence which comes because now I'm feeling not so happy. So I need to check that. Once I do that checking, the third one is sleepiness. Now listen to this carefully how to do it. On Aloka Sanya. Aloka is light, Sanya is perception. And Buddha talks to Moggallana about light perception. Now this is what you need to do. I and Owen has already spoken about it. So for the others, you close your eyes and you're doing watching the breath, and suddenly your head is falling down into sleep. If you're not able to hold your body straight and it is drooping down, that shows that sleepiness has arrived. So you need to first note that I'm feeling sleepy. Now there are 10 strategies, and out of 10 strategy, one of the strategy is perception of the light. In the center of your middle of your eyebrows, there is pineal gland, which gives you a perception of light in darkness. So what you need to do is, don't force anything. Don't make your eyes look something like pressing your eyelids or anything. Just comfortably try to look up while your eyelids are closed. Try to bring your eyes above and concentrating on the center of the eyebrows, and you start seeing light. Now just watch the light. Your sleep will go away. This is taught in yogic tradition, but this will not take you to Nibbana. But it is a good exercise to be awake. It will make your body completely straight. You're not drooping. It's not going somewhere. And the yawning will stop. Your breath will be exactly in the center. It gets centered up. What I mean by centering up is that there is nothing going in and there's nothing going out, and your body is completely stilled. So Paṭisambhidāmagga kaya sankharan asasi sameti sikkati, what we study in the Ānāpānassati sutta or in the Mahasatipatthana sutta or in Girimananda sutta, you will find the same experience, but you will find light. So what Buddha says is the two strategies. One strategy, you perceive it is day while it is in night, meaning you bring that it's very bright light. It will be like sun shining directly at your eyes. Another strategy you can do is just put your palms and open up your eyes. Close your palms to the eyes and open up your eyes. And after some time, you will start to see light coming up on the center of your eyebrow. It takes you around 10-15 minutes if you were to do that, and the sleep goes away. Even then, if you get sleep, then you have to go out and go for a small walk and sit. And even if the sleep comes, then you have to pull your taking two of your fingers and you keep on pressing your earlobes, so the sleep will stop. That again helps you in recharging it. Again, you start watching the light. So there are many strategies to get into the aloka sanya. You can use whichever you want, but the easiest of all is to observe the center of your eyebrow. You get that light. But again, that is not anything to do with Nibbana. It is something to do with not sleeping. You're cutting out the hindrance, which is thinamida, but it is nothing to do with getting into Nibbana or anything like that. No, it's an aid. It's just a tool. Just like if I'm using nekkhamma, removing the sensual lust, that doesn't really mean that I've achieved arhat phalap samapatti. No. But this aids in going there. Similarly, aloka sanya aids in going there. Okay. Then we come to distraction. Vikepa. Kepa means to exactly shake. You shake everything up. Vikepa is extensively doing that. It's like you take a bucket and you hit it so badly that the water in there is shaking and shaking and shaking, never stopping the shake. It's shaken. Whereas avikepa is still. There's no restlessness. Samatha helps in removing vikepa, which we will be seeing as we go down into this, but that's the answer to that. So restlessness is an obstruction. Non-restlessness is the guidance. Now, how do I do non-restlessness? Well, if you are not able to watch the breath touching the nostril, take some deep breaths and relax. The restlessness is gone. Another strategy is just press your nostrils and leave. Then the restlessness is gone. So these two strategies would help in removing restlessness of the body, through which the mind is also restless. Now let's say some news has come and I'm not happy and all that. So if I were to take a deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out, forceful breathing. Then after a while of 5-10 minutes, not straining the body, just deep breath. And if I sit, that stressful feeling is gone. So that's how you remove the restlessness. Now comes to Vishiki Ichcha, doubt. I doubt whether Sariputta, this Ānāpānasatikatha makes any sense, because we have never heard anything like this. I don't believe Sariputta would have said it, because that's not there in any of the Buddha Suttas to this much of explanation. How do I believe it is Sariputta who has said it, Sariputta who has written it? Or somebody has written it, but Sariputta has said it. What's the proof? I don't agree. Because this, especially the Paṭisambhidāmagga, is a huge one in the Khuddaka Nikaya. So because it says Khuddaka Nikaya, I tend to believe it, but then I see that Milinda Pahana is also there. That means this one has been incorporated after the Buddha. So how do I know that Paṭisambhidāmagga I need to study? I doubt. And when I start reading, it looks Dhamma, but then the details what Sariputta is giving, I don't really agree. It sounds to be okay. Like there is this puredhamma.net site which talks about Vaharaka. In Paṭisambhidāmagga and this Ānāpānasatikatha, Sariputta explains what is anicca, upada vayatena anicca. And in the Pure Dhamma website, they have put that. Lal has put it, that what is anicca, it is upada vayatena anicca. But if you check all the suttas of the Buddha, you will never find the definition of anicca. You wouldn't find. And also if you check about Ānāpānassati Sutta and Ānāpānassati in the Mahasatipatthana, or you go through the Girimananda Sutta or elsewhere, there is no illustration to say that it's like your breathing should be touching. So you take a saw and you have a tree which is level to the ground and you're cutting, you're not observing anything except for touching. That's not there. So I get a doubt. How could Buddha genuinely miss these things? Because he has given a lot of similes, a lot of examples, a lot of things, but I don't agree that it is arising and passing away is anicca. I feel that impermanence is anicca, because all the books I could read in this world will only talk about impermanence. Only the Vaharakas, for the very first time, he said that it is not about impermanence. So whether should I go by the Vaharaka view or I go by the entire world view, all the Buddhists across the globe irrespective of what they follow, whether it is Burmese tradition or Sri Lankan tradition, Thai tradition, Vietnamese tradition, whichever tradition, they all believe anicca means impermanence, dukkha means suffering, anatta means non-self. And I'm not able to agree that this Paṭisambhidāmagga, Ānāpānassati's Katha, is in line with that. So I have this doubt. Now what Buddha says, or Sariputta says in this, is that Dhamma Vavatthana, meaning investigation of the Dhamma, is the guidance only. So what should I do? Now watch the breath. So keep all the Dhamma of all the people aside. Watch the breath. If the breath were to arise and pass away, which is happening, isn't it kaya? Isn't it diminishing? Is the number of breaths, are they increasing or they diminishing? It's diminishing. If something is diminishing, is it sukha or dukkha? It is dukkha. If something is diminishing and something is dukkha, is it myself, atta? No, it is anatta. So if something is arising and passing away and it is in dukkha, and if it is, you don't have any control over that breath, is it subha or asubha? It is asubha. Now can I practice it? Yes, I can practice it. So is Vaharaka right or other things are right? I don't want to get into that. What's the fact? Investigation. I can see the person when he is born with the breath. When he goes out with the breath. That's a fact. So the number of breaths are decreasing. They are not increasing. So the breaths are decreasing as a fear, which is the dukkha. So, khayatena anicca bhayatena dukkha. And the third one, instead of asara, Sariputta uses shunya, is anatta. That's empty. As we go down, we'll be able to see. So at right present, for Visikiccha, you need to apply this. Otherwise, the Visikiccha will not go. And it keeps on creating issues. If you are doing Ānāpānassati, Visikiccha is going to create a lot of issues. Because when you start watching the breath, the question comes, should I watch the breath going in and coming out? Should I watch it long and short? That's what it should be actually. No, my teacher has taught me like this. Other teacher has taught me like that. This video talks about like this. This book talks about like that. So now I'm totally confused. And this new one, which we are talking about, Ānāpānasatikatha, Ānāpānasatikatha, talks something else. So I have no idea. Okay. And then we have so many sects. We have the Burmese sect, we have Burmese tradition. Then we have in Sri Lanka, there are a lot of traditions. Then Thai has a lot of tradition. Vietnam has a lot of tradition. Every country has their own traditions. And there's Mahayana, there is this one, that one, so many. And I'm getting totally stuck. What should I follow? Honestly. Now what should I do? Well, let's watch the breath. Wherever it's touching, try it out. Wherever it is touching, just observe that. And start this. Is breath arising and passing away? Is anicca or nicca? It is anicca. 100%. It can be seen. It can be really seen that the newborn comes with the breath. And when you say a person is dying, is out of the breath only. Nothing else is dying. The breath is going away. like my wife's uncle. He was in the hospital and his brain was dead, but the heart was working. And the doctor said, look, he's on a ventilator. We cannot pull out the ventilator. You can pull out the ventilator if you want. Or till he dies, you can watch. It can be 1 day, it can be 2 days, it can be next 1 hour also. So the children of my wife's uncle took a decision not to remove the ventilator, but we will sit in the hospital and watch him dying. So what we did, even I joined there. So we reached at 8 p.m. and we sat looking at that equipment which was showing the number of as the beats going down, going up, heartbeats going up, going down, SpO2, the oxygen level going up, going down, all that. He was doing that and doing that and doing that for hours together. So 8 o'clock went and he started, that journey of his started at 6 p.m. We went at 8 p.m. and then 8 o'clock happened, 9 o'clock happened, 10 o'clock happened, 11 o'clock happened. We're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and 12:30 and that's the end of. So it's very clear. The breath. It's anicca. It's not nicca. It's perfectly anicca. I don't have to go by any tradition. It's quite clear. If something is anicca, it should be dukkha, because now the fear starts, where this is going to lead to, where the mind will take me if the breath were to stop. And if it is dukkha, I have no control on the breath. What control can I bring? I can't even watch the breath. Forget about bringing control. It is so deflecting. So it is anatta. I want to watch the breath, but it's not happening. And hence there is no control. If whatever tradition it can be, it doesn't matter. Or if it is breath, watching itself will come to nibbana or no nibbana. Some people say that doesn't lead to nibbana, it's anariya. Some people say it is ariya. Fine, whether it's ariya, anariya. Can I watch the breath? No, so it's anatta. It hardly stays for 5 minutes. After that, gone. Gone in some thoughts. So, investigate the Dhamma, the teaching. You'll see it. Anicca, dukkha, anatta, asubha. You will definitely see it. Once you see it, irrespective of tradition, you're there. The visikiccha is gone. Now what happens? Avidya will start to reduce. So avidya is the hindrance to vidya or jnana. Vidya means knowledge, jnana means wisdom. Okay. And then dissatisfaction. Now, sight brings in dissatisfaction, sound brings in dissatisfaction, and all the 5 senses. Thoughts bring in dissatisfaction. There's not even one thought which will give you satisfaction or has ever given satisfaction. All the 6 sense objects are dissatisfying because you cannot hold them. The objective is to make it as mine, upadana, and make it as mine. This is mine. Doesn't happen. I love the sight, but it is the moment I turn my head somewhere else, that sight is gone. couldn't bring it. I'm bringing an object, but I'm not getting the sight. It's just there, and I keep it, and I turn my head, and my attention is gone, and that's it. There ends that object. So now what do I do? So he says that pamojja. What is pamojja? Mojja means being in a happy, joyful, or whatever you would like to put as a most elated condition. Meaning non-boring. Dissatisfaction brings in boredom. The first symptom of a dissatisfied individual is he feels bored with anything. After some time, he feels bored. I need that. Okay, he goes to that. I don't think so. No, I want to go to this one and that one and that one. So the more the dissatisfaction, the more the boredom. So what I should do then? Don't feel bored. That's very easy said than done. I'm feeling bored, and you were saying don't get bored. So I need to bring in elation. I need to bring in feeling really joyful. So what do I do to become joyful? 4 strategies can be used. 2 strategies on the mind, 2 strategies through the body, or 2 strategies through the mind. The first strategy is remembering good time you ever had. Just remembering. That cuts boredom. The first strategy. Okay, there's an attachment to it, but it's still an aid. So we are only talking about aid. Aiding in cutting these other ones. Then the second strategy. Apart from remembering that place, or wherever, whatever you want to remember, is to put something on Dhamma there. Anything that can come to your mind. Can be Etan Santan, Etan Panitan, can be Karaniya Metta Sutta, can be something which is melodious and easygoing on Dhamma. You can put this. 2 from the body. Cleansing oneself or relieving oneself of urine or drinking water or washing the face is one strategy on Kaya, which will immediately remove the boredom. Especially putting water to your face removes boredom. It cuts from the body. So your body not only comes out of sleep, it will also comes out of boredom. Then the final one, apart from doing it, is to stretch your body. If you stretch your body, the advantage is that you're getting more oxygen to the body. So it cuts again sleepiness and boredom. So 4 strategies. 2 by mind, 2 by body. So now my body is again fit and fine to watch the breath touching the nostrils. And I can sit. And then another 2. No, not the strategy, I'm talking about the Dasa Akusala. Now I've done all of these 7. I still find the breath okay, not getting beyond 5-10 minutes. Now what should I do? Well, start with the Kunda Sutta, AN 10.176, which we already covered some time ago. Just go on Sutta Central and give AN 10.176, you get Kunda Sutta. read that sutta as much as you can, because that teaches you how to remove the 10 immoral deeds. And watch. Just watch. So let's say I look at the Pāṇātipāta. I understand what it is. I'm doing some character assassination of some people. I don't like them. So I'll stop in the mind. So that from today I will not do that. Then watch the breath. You'll find few minutes you're literally able to watch the breath touching the nostril. Means that was a hindrance. If that is not stopping, then you come to the next one. That is adinnadana, stealing. And if that is not, then you come to the third one. Kameshu miccāchāra. Then if that is not the one, 4 of them you'll definitely catch. One is musavada, half truth, half lie, or pisunavacha, where I have slandered against someone, parusavacha, where I have been very harsh at someone, sampapalapa, this is 100% in my case. I have spoken some nonsense things, some politics, some this, some that, some games, some stupid thing. What I should do now is to forgive oneself. So have metta on you. Don't criticize. Have metta on you. When I do that, and watch the breath again, able to see it, then I just see how much time. You have to put a clock or something and watch it, because that is another distraction. Just see how long have you sat. Simple. So you don't have to really calculate the time. That will be distracting. So don't bring anything which will bring in distraction. Now I'm sitting, it's 9:45 here, 9:48 here. So let's say I promise myself I'll sit for 20 minutes watching the breath. Or just watch 20 minutes. And whenever it opens up, it opens up. Then I look at it, wow. I was there on that for 25 minutes. It's worked. Then other 3 actually. One is abhicca, vyapada, and micchaditthi. This requires some amount of practice. What is abhicca is whatever somebody has should become mine. Also should become mine. I mean, not that I want to steal from him or her. I feel I'm more worth than that person. So my qualification is equal to that person. The skill set or the work what I'm doing is similar to that person, and he's doing pretty well and I'm not. So I need something more than what I have at present, and that has to come to me. So feeling that what the other person has, I deserve more. This is abhicca. It's abhi plus ichcha. Ichcha means liking. Abhi means high. Liking more than what I deserve. See, we actually get what we deserve. We don't get anything more or less than what we deserve. But I feel I deserve more than what anybody has. Okay. Let's say if I were to relocate to America, I feel America is the best place than being here. And if I go to Colorado, mountain high, it's a beautiful place. Denver, beautiful. I have not come to Canada side, but since I traveled across US. So Denver is a good, and from Denver I can go to other places which are far better than Denver. I can go to Washington State, and that is even more better. So now I love to be there. Presently I've been got this. I deserve to be in Bangalore. I deserve. This is the I don't get because I wish it. I wish I get it. No. I am deserving, and hence I have got this. If I bring this, abhicca will not be there. There's no abhicca. But unfortunately, I cannot do that. So my mind keeps on going to America. Or my mind goes to Canada. Or it goes to French Alps or Swiss Alps. Or this place and that place. I want to be in Sweden. I want to be in Norway. Or for whatever reason, I feel that place is better. Or I'm wanting better food. Whatever it is. So all of that better, more, is abhicca. Simple. But all of us, wherever we are, whichever country we are in, and whatever we are following, we deserve it. You get what you deserve. You don't get what you choose. There's nothing to choose. You have a choice to make to be happy or unhappy. That's the thing is possible. But I deserve, or I get what I deserve, not what I wish for. If the wish is granted, let's say, it means I was to deserve that and have got it. That's the only thing. There's nothing else other than that. So then the vyapada also reduces. Because I'm contented, I know it is only deserving. I don't curse that I have not been deserving. That's all I'm supposed to be getting. So I'm contented, and hence vyapada is not there. And hence I start to believe in the 10 michhaditti removal. That means I come to the sammadhitti. What I can say, not the Arya as indicated in the Mahachattarika Sutta. There are two ways. One with attachment, one without attachment. The one with attachment is good enough for Ānāpānassati. So these are the 8 plus 8 which aids in retaining the breath. Okay, with that we have completed the 16 of them. So, in summary, for practice, nimitta, breath, touching the nostril. With that nimitta, objective is to understand, experience anicca, dukkha, anatta, asubha. 4 things. Keeping that, you have to look at 8 things which are an obstacle and 8 things which are an aid for the obstacle becomes 16. And the strategy, the guidance is the strategy. How you can remove it. So how to remove kamachanda, how to remove vyapada, thinamida, all that we have covered. So go through it and see what you find. When we meet tomorrow, we can catch up on how your experience has been. Today 10 minutes we had. You can do it in the night or in the morning. Anyway, morning is free. When for you it is just early morning. So for the day, in whatever you're trying to do, find time, try to watch the breath and see any hindrance you're coming. And tomorrow we can discuss on those hindrances. And if all of us are able to get hindrance free, then we can go to see that there is upakilesa. Upa means higher or near, higher and near. klesha is, or kilesa is the defilements. So even after removal of the hindrances or suppressing the hindrances, you will still get klesha or defilement. We will see those 6 of them. And then we will see what is the way through which we can remove those defilements. How do we clean them? So we are going to do that, which will establish samadhi. So the objective here is nimitta, followed by anicca, dukkha, anatta, asubha. That then comes up with kleshas or the defilements, and then we remove the defilements. Once you remove the defilement, you are in samadhi. And that concludes the first section on how to reach samadhi. And that we practice, and then we keep on going every day till we finish everything about Nibbana. This whole Ānāpānasatikatha covers till Nibbana. So this one of it is sufficient for all of us to get into all the states. So only thing is that we should have perseverance, we should have the faith that this works. So when we come detailed, you will come to know how to create faith and all that. So we will go slowly and we will address everything about it. But we can discuss what we are feeling, what we are achieving, what we are not achieving. And we will see what and how we can remove together. So I will journey with you together, and we all together will do it. So I don't want to make it like a discourse that I keep on saying and then you keep on looking at it. So we'll make it a very interactive session wherein we can discuss everything. Okay, for now you have anything to discuss, or shall we do that tomorrow?
Yeah, I just want to ask one thing.
Yes.
Like you are saying, you have to watch where the breath is touching your nostril.
Yes.
So, like if I see, there are 3, it depends. Sometimes it is on the lower part of the nose, sometimes it is in the upper part of the nose, sometimes in the middle part of the nose.
Yes.
So, should I see all those things? Or
No, wherever it is touching. So now whenever this confusion comes, you bring in that simile of what Sariputta informed. So there's a tree, it is level to the ground, and then a person is taking an axe and cutting it. He's not bothered about where it is touching, meaning where it is going. The teeth are touching and where it is going. It might be going on the top, it might be going on the middle, it might be going on the down. Now you reflect that 3 things to the breath. Your breath might be touching up, it might be touching in the center, it can be touching to the side, it might be touching to the lower one. But you have to just observe the touching, not about where it is touching.
Okay, fine.
Okay, it is difficult. It is not simple, it is difficult, and that's the reason the hindrances. So even if you get it once, like if I sit like this and I start to see it, first the mind makes it go along with the breath. So as the breath goes in and the breath goes out, I'm going in and going out. No, I should be there, but the breath is going in and going out. That's being watchful. Otherwise, it's going in, going out means that I am going in and going out along with that. That doesn't bring in. So I have to watch where it is touching, because it's phassa. Phassa pachaya vedana. Vedana pachaya tanha. Tanha pachaya upadana. The whole Paṭisambhidāmagga can be seen. That's the reason I need to watch the touching. Only the touching. Don't concentrate. The moment you concentrate, you'll not get it. Just observe. There's a difference between observation and concentration. Concentration is that I try to focus complete attention to that. It breaks. Observation is natural, normal. Just observing it.
What if I observe it as a third person?
That is a good thing to do. If you can get that, you have achieved it. Like Suyog, if you remember, one day you and I were talking and you started.
I was thinking about that only.
Yes, you can do that. See, there are again two strategies. One is the Pajanana and another which we are going to cover it anyway, and Sampajanana. Both will reach to the Samadhi, but the Pajanana is like you watch someone, and Sampajanya is like the light covering everywhere. All the objects are there. Both will lead to the same state of Samadhi. So you can remember our talks we had first time or second time when you had given me a call some months ago, and the way you had felt that you are not there and everything else is moving. Exactly the same experience you'll have with breath.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. No other questions? Then we meet tomorrow. Hi Lasanta. Servants are nice. Okay, so Lasanta, I think Owen, he also follows Vaharaka, and he has also been on Discord, but I don't think so he has contributed there in any way. I don't think so he has even joined Discord. But I had stayed with him in Sri Lanka 4 years ago, his home. When I went to meet Amadasana along with him.
Yes, correct.
Owen is a contributor into this Discord, so we have the Discord forum, so he keeps on sharing his views and thoughts. So now after some time he wanted to join this group, so he's here.
Okay, yes, okay. Good.
So other people I've seen, but you have not seen, so I just wanted to introduce.
Yes, I know other people, I have seen them all.
Okay, good. All right, good
Okay,
day.
nice.
Yeah, good day and good night, and see you tomorrow. Sarvan Sarnai and Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya.